So out of the 6 main Skylander console games, we have gotten hundreds of Skylanders, and some of them have been amazing, god tier, no flaws, and others, not so much. So today we're going to be breaking down, and I'm going to be ranking the Skylander generations. And generations of Skylanders means which game they came from. So Supercharger Skylanders are generation 5. As of series is how many a certain Skylander, how many versions they have. So yeah, I'm Victor of Saving Skylands, and we're going to get right into it. So at the number 6 spot, we do have these Superchargers. And don't get me wrong, some of the Superchargers are really cool. One of them is a staple to the entire franchise, which is Spitfire. He's the best Supercharger there is, and he has a reason to be in the starter pack. And they also did justice to some of the older bad Skylanders, such as Normal Eruptor, and they gave him Lava Lance Eruptor, and now he's a 10 out of 10 Skylander. But they also ruined some of our original Skylanders. Stealth Elf, one of the best Skylanders ever. They made her slow with a machine gun. It makes no sense, and I still boggle my brain to still to this day. And they did give us some new Skylanders, such as Fiesta. Woo. Don't get me wrong, some of them are very cool. Like, we have Winterfest or whatever, Mistletoe, Diveclops here. Really cool, he's a cool Skylander and all. But overall, the Superchargers get overshadowed by all the vehicles. The vehicle play is more than actually using the Skylanders, so whether they're cool or not, it doesn't matter because they just go right into a car. So overall, some were good and some were not good at all. So out of like the 18 Supercharger Skylanders, half of them are reposed. So your Skylanders you've always used, yeah, they're a little different, but overall, they're not very creative because they're still the same Skylander. Yeah, Lava Lance Eruptor is so much better than Normal Eruptor, but overall, it's still the same Skylander. Now at the number 5 spot, the controversial Giants roster. Don't get me wrong, I love the Giants roster, but this comes down to creativity and fun while using it. This roster has so many Series 2s that's pretty much just a Spyro's Adventure roster again. There's only like 7 new cores other than the Giants. And the Giants are cool, but when you really think about it, they don't bring a whole bunch to the table. They're really only useful in their own game and a little bit in Swap Force, and then they get dropped completely. All they can do is break down some walls, which you could have already grabbed a bomb and did by yourself. Little bits of feats of strength. They brought light cores, so light cores were cool, but overall, it didn't bring a whole bunch new to the table, just like Giants didn't as a game. So now at the number 4 spot, we do have the Trap Team roster, and these top 4 spots can go either way. They're all amazing, and the top 4 are literally just a personal preference, and I don't believe I have anything bad to say about them. So in the Trap Team roster, we had gotten awesome Trap Masters with these awesome crystal weapons, one of my favorite Skylanders of all time, Wallop, and then they introduced 2 brand new elements, as in Nightlight and Nightmare. So that was cool as well, even if I'm not a fan of bringing 2 more elements into it. But the cores are the thing that get overlooked so much. And yes, this is a Series 2 Pop Fizz. Or Series 3 Pop Fizz, my bad. But these cores are absolutely amazing, and if you guys don't have them, I recommend picking them up. But for some reason, they are more expensive than the Trap Masters themselves. But during the game, they get overlooked due to how good the Trap Masters are, that people don't realize how good the cores are as well. But practically one of my favorite parts of Trap Team figures is they finally let us use minis. You can level them up and you can use them inside the game, and that's amazing. This roster is spot on. You got big Skylanders, you got medium Skylanders, and you got small Skylanders. And yes, you have bad ones like Blastermind, but you also have great ones like Wallop and Nightlight. And then don't even get me started on the cores, because I personally haven't even played with them a whole bunch because of how overshadowed they are, and it kind of stinks, and that's why they're in the number 4 spot, because during the game, you can't even enter elemental gates or break down certain things in the levels without a weapon, a crystal weapon. And I'm not even going to try to say Traptanium. Okay, anyways, moving on to the number 3 spot. Now at the number 3 spot, we do have the Skylanders Imaginators roster. And some love this roster and some hate it. I personally love it. They brought back villains as their own Skylanders such as Wolfgang, Blastertron, shout out to Skylander Gamer TV, and Chaos. Yes, it's not actually Chaos, it's a clone of Chaos, but hate to burst your bubble. And then they also gave us brand new Skylander senseis like Kingpin, an amazing starter pack Skylanders. But the biggest part of this roster, and my personal least used thing, but it's the creative factor of having creation crystals. There's 10 different elements and so many different acorns and other things that go into these things that they're so much fun. You get to create your own Skylander and you could do it over and over and over as long as you keep collecting creation crystals. It sucks that you can't reset them in the game. You have to take them into Giants and the Weavers and do all that jazz, but the roster itself is amazing, and even if the game makes you get certain elements or certain battle classes to go into, literally half of the game is a DLC at this point, but it's worth it when you have them. Now at the number 2 spot, we have the Spyro's Adventure roster. Now, a 32-man roster is a big roster. Like Marvel vs. Capcom has that kind of roster. Now, for a game that's literally just starting off, that is insane. And, of course, the Toys to Life thing. There's 32 toys for kids to collect. No wonder why this game was so successful. They also brought the greatest Skylander of all time, in my opinion. Don't fight me. Anyways. And then they also brought us the actual greatest Skylander of the first 2 games, Drobot, along with Chop Chop, fan favorite, and most importantly, the man of the hour, the man the dragon in the title, Spyro. Now, I have some things to pick with Spyro here. He's not bad, but he's not good. He was used as a marketing scheme 100%. 100%. Anyways, but he does not deserve the hate that he gets. The game doesn't deserve the hate that it gets just because they use Spyro as a marketing tool. I get where it's coming from, but they literally... Skylanders made Spyro relevant again, and that's just facts. Oh, sorry, I was having too much fun with the number 1 spot in this ranking video. Obviously, it's the Swap Force. 256 combinations, therefore 256 different Skylanders. That is amazing and probably the biggest roster in gaming history. And then throw in some of the best cores we've gotten from any of the games, such as Elizabeth's favorite, Pop Thorn, and the greatest Series 3, and best version of Gil Grunt, Anchor's Way Gil Grunt, and Bumble Blast, probably the best core itself. Having the ability to swap bottoms and tops is absolutely amazing, and then you can use the Skylander full, a matching top and bottom, and they're great as well. But if I want to grab Magnacharge's bottom here, put it on Magnacharge, I can also put it on Freeze Blade's bottom. What gets better than this? 200, I can't express it enough. 256 possibilities. Insane. This roster has 300 Skylanders with legendaries, cores, light cores, and swappers. It's absolutely nuts, and they all have a purpose in the game. There's swap zones, and then there's elemental gates that you have to, switch if you need some tech and some water, or you need some tech and some fire. Boom! Guess who's stronger in that zone? Water? Guess what I can do? Now I'm a water Skylander. It does not get better than this. And that is why Swap Force is probably my favorite game, just because you can do so much. And I know this isn't a game ranking, this is a figure ranking, but the figures in Swap Force make the game as great as it is. So that's all I have for you guys today in ranking the Skylander generations from all 6 games. Now, as always, drop down your list in the comments. I try to get to all the comments. That's the only way we can keep Skylanders alive, is by keep talking to each other, keep the conversation going, keep loving the franchise. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys soon.